pleasure to be here. Sairam, everyone. This is a small story that I have to, a large, big story that I have to share with you in a small time. So I'm going to try and connect it with how this has evolved and how for us this has been such a wonderful journey in the last 7-8 years. I will be doing a small screen sharing of some photos, but before that, I would like to introduce myself and the project. I actually studied to be a lawyer, but in the I think from when I was a child, I was very interested in rescuing animals or looking after animals. I love nature, like a lot of us love trees and plants. And I think I've been, even after coming to Delhi, both Sai and I have been rescuing animals and stuff. But I think, and what really motivated and inspired us to do these things were so many teachings that we saw and so many, beautiful stories around us of Baba, of Shirdi Baba, of Swami, of in mythological stories, even our own, traditional, the way we are so compassionate. Our whole religion is, or the practices we follow in India are so tied with religion. We worship plants, trees, animals have spaces in our religious, iconography, and even our mythological stories are so beautifully entwined into compassion and respect for nature and animals. And then, people like Shirdi Baba, who would share his food with even the dogs in his village, and Swami, who had Sai Gita and so many wonderful animal stories and nature stories associated with him. So these kind of stories constantly, what would move me the most whenever I'm not a regular, I don't even pray every day, but I do all the time think of the beauty of nature and the beauty of everything around us, the way the sun rises and sets every day, the wonderful glory of nature that we possibly miss every day when we, in our everyday life, I think we miss the wonders, and I used to keep thinking there's how beautiful this world goes on with us, without us, after us, before us, endless, and it's so beautiful. And just as I would think all this, one day I heard a talk by Mr. Satyajit, and he spoke about an incident that really struck a chord in me. Apparently, he was with Swami in the car on his way to Puttaparthi, and when he was on his way, he kept asking. I think the conversation revolved around the Gita and Vishwarupam, and he kept asking Swami, "Show me Vishwarupam. You must show me one day." And I think Swami was evading him, and he was trying to avoid the whole conversation. But at some point, when Satyajit ji became persistent, Swami apparently put down his car window and he looked at Satyajit and said, "This is Vishwarupam." Meaning to say that all the things around us, all the nature that is around us, whether it's humans, whether it's animals, whether it's all the geographical, the topographical stuffs around us, like mountains and everything, every single incident that happens around us, everything is his glory or his manifestation. So I think, in a sense, when we look at religion, literally, we tend to misunderstand the script. It is it is both within and all around us. That's his glory. So I genuinely, for me, in my everyday spiritual practices, if you can call that, this is what it is. I just love being with any and all the things around us, anyway. And I think what Sai and I have inadvertently done is surrounded ourselves with this. I would like to start a slideshow to just show you our little project. It's something for us. It is our temple. It is not a project. It is by the temple I go to every day. That's why I don't maybe regularly I think all of us have different paths to God. And I don't think any one path is, everybody does what they most resonate with. And I think for me, this has resonated the most. And so I'd love to share the journey. The farm is called Beejom, and there is a history to that. I was wondering what I should name the farm, and I wanted to call it Beejom, which means seed, and seed is the source of everything and the end of everything as well. Everything begins and ends with a seed. especially in agriculture. So when I was thinking that, and then I said, Om, the sound of the universe, it's supposed to be a hum, which we can't hear. It's the anahat sound, and that is what actually that is the sound of creation, and that is the beauty of creation. The world dissolves, reforms. There are worlds beyond us, and which we don't even know about. So that whole thing is what brought this name. So I decided to call it Beejom instead of Beejam. We have lots and lots of rescued animals on the farm. One of the I feel, fundamental paths, one of the steps, the first step for spirituality for me is compassion. For myself, I think empathy and compassion. I think everybody in this world, whether it's an animal or even an insect, has a place, has the right to be here, because we are all created equally, and therefore an animal in distress or a human in distress, or anybody in distress, I think for the first thing, it stirs a lot of sorrow and compassion in us. And so all the time we would rescue animals, but we didn't know what to do. We would keep sending them to various shelters. And one fine day, one of our dear friends, Geeta Sheshamani, she had told us, why don't you board a horse, which we help rescue. So that's how this whole thing started. We went to the banks of the Yamuna and got leased some land, and we didn't know anything about boarding or raising horses. We hadn't done so, but that's how it began. And today we have 8 horses. We have then the cows came, the cats came, the dogs came, the pigs came. It's been quite a journey. You can see all the animals here. And what the dream that we kind of grew was to let animals be. I think humans have the belief that everything around us is for us. It's been created for our purpose. I don't think so. I think God created everybody with its own purpose for this planet. And it's because that fabric is being destroyed is maybe why we are what is going on today is happening. Where we have selfishly cut down trees, we have destroyed the food web that is there in nature, the ecological balance that is there in nature. So that is why we are in this position today. So we decided to help keep these animals in their own surroundings without any expectations that they have to perform for us or do something for us. They're just there because they exist, and that kind of joy where all animals on the farm are equal, including humans, and everybody is well cared for, is living happily without expectations in their natural habitat, like goats grazing, ducks looking after their young ones, and the little babies who get lots of love. This is an elderly goat on the side. He had arthritis, so he would sit on a chair, that bamboo, instead of the floor. So, and when you observe these animals from very close by, you can see how each animal has a wonderful personality. That's how God made us, and He made us so that not even one thumbprint is same as the other. And what have we done? We have made it as if everybody is the same, and every single person is such an individual. He's a beautiful individual. So is the case with animals. You can see here, these are our winged friends, and this is the duck family raising their little chicks. So this whole beautiful, for us, it gave us an opportunity to observe these animals. And in the last 7 years, there is so much we have learned about how intelligent they are, how they respond to affection and kindness. They just want to be, and it's truly wonderful. It's like a paradise. And contrary to, a lot of, usually when people think dogs and roosters don't get on or animals fight with each other, but no, even when they are put into that kind of happy situation, you can actually see a dog has made great friends with, that's Laddu, with our rooster Vaga. And these are our, the little chicks having swimming lessons on the left, and the parents, the goose parents are as strict as human parents. You can actually see how beautifully we never let them raise their young. All these animals are in factory farms, very cruelly treated. So I think this also has become for us these are our cats, and all these cats have a personality of their own. One of them, this one on the tree, she slaps dogs routinely, and the dogs are all very scared of her. So, and these are our dogs. all into our fields. And this is our Buffalo Brigade. And that is there's Dhanno, Dhania, Pudina, Gulabo, Panna. They all have like our Aadhaar cards. They have, what can I say, medical cards with their photographs taken. Hugely, I must tell you, even many countries today are recognizing that animals should have a personality or an identity. We have in this world, I think that is what Baba teaches us. He says, love all, serve all, be kind. I think love in action is so important. And this is love, nothing else. It is love when you can see that there is no difference between you and an ant, you and a mosquito, you and a fly, you and an elephant. It's the same. So I believe that everything has to come from this font of compassion. And that is possibly what all our masters are telling us, and that is what we are missing possibly. These are our beautiful cows. We have 150 cattle from across India. We have 11 breeds, most of which are going extinct because when we see a cow, we only see milk. Again, it is all about us, right? We cannot see the cow or the cattle for itself. So therefore, we have 150 cattle, but we are not a dairy. We don't take milk from them. We let the children have the milk. We let the mothers rear their children. Actually, it has made such a difference. We have a very healthy cattle shed of very happy cows and bulls. This is Gandhar on the left. And this is our beautiful indigenous cattle. Look at them for their beauty for a minute. This is so beautiful on the right side in the bottom. I think God has created every single being with so much beauty and grace and love. And honestly, they are the cowshed is the quietest place on the farm. We humans make so much noise, but the cows are very, very quiet and calm. This is our dung project. So we said, if we cannot do milk, what do we do? And so we decided to create sustainability on the farm using dung. It's a very lovely project because this means no cows are abandoned. No bulls are put out on the road. No old cows are slaughtered, So we have created an option where there's a best out of waste project so that animals can live on to their full life. Otherwise, if you actually ask what is the life span of a rooster, frankly, nobody knows, because he's already eaten. So again, we make card. The other thing is, it's not just about living beings that this is all about. What about our environment? What about our rivers? What about our mountains, our skies, our air, our water? Everything is getting so polluted beyond repair, So one of the first important things that we're doing on the farm is soil regeneration. Soil is the most, fundamental thing on this planet. If not for that 6 inches of soil, we can grow no food. We cannot even live. That is why the ancients respected soil, respected cattle, respected growing food. And there were so many Vedic practices around these things. Again, today we think we can control nature, and by using chemicals and urea and tractors, we are actually going against the natural grain, literally. So this is our Dungho project. What has happened on the farm is not that we've just grown crops or that we have rescued animals. I think we've also evolved as people, all of us, whoever works on the farm. From being people who would kill even a snake if they saw it 5 miles away 7 years ago, all the people on the farm today know how to rescue a snake from, even if it has come within our, sometimes it's inside somebody's shed or near their bed. Then we rescue the snake. They've all started to rescue these snakes and send them to wildlife organizations. So we have to be compassionate. Yes, snake is dangerous, but that doesn't mean we can kill it. Right? So I think these lessons, they're all like layers, and that is spirituality, because we are learning to be kinder, gentler, more aware of the beauty of nature around us. And where is God? Is he in just buildings and brick concrete constructions? No, he's actually out there. So I think respecting nature is respecting divinity. So that then finally we do a lot of agriculture. This is Vedic farming. What we do, Vedic farming is nothing but ecological farming, where you do not drive away your pests what we call pests are actually helpers. We work according to season only. We don't resist season. So we observe our seasons, we enjoy the season, we grow during the season, only grow what's available during the season. Don't abuse the soil, don't pollute the groundwater. So all these are spiritual practices. That is why it's called Vedic farming. And look at the bounty it gives us when we grow it like that. It's unimaginable. What we have forgotten is the diversity. And I think the diversity of this planet is our greatest gift. I that is what I have discovered. There is so much growing on our farm, and we just use ecological practices. This is our food forest. It's been growing for the last 5 years. A food forest, and it's completely dedicated to it's completely dedicated to Baba, actually, because I always say that it's his forest virtually, because I think it is growing with all these the abundance that's giving us. It's coming from the fact that we are respecting and I mean, allowing everything to come in instead of and it's this is the kind of produce we grow. We grow amazing stuff, and there's so much hard work, but there is so much joy. And I have also learned so much from these village folk who have simple lives, but they are so happy, and there is so much contentment in their work, in the way they live. They are also extremely generous and compassionate. So this is what we are doing. And what is most valuable for me has been the 7 years has been to share this joy, this love, this learning. I think to get more children, like Baba always used to say, I think children are very, very precious. They are the future of this planet. And if we can make a difference by teaching them how to be more kind, more compassionate, more other regarding, and more respectful to their environment, I think we can make a great difference to the future. So we try in various ways to bring that about by sharing all our space, our work, our animals. And urban children these days don't have the privilege of meeting animals. We actually have something called a compassion workshop, which we conduct every month, where if people come, we share happy stories about rescued animals who have now become happy animals, and they're all happily ever after stories. People love them. The important thing is for people to know how nature works. And therefore, that's the template. You can see the number of people who come to the farm. It gives us an opportunity to talk about this. And I somehow believe that with these so many community interactions, we are able to, even if we are talking technical things like agriculture or farming or growing food or compassion or whatever, the thread is love. And that is what matters the most. I think if the ultimate, like Fukuoka, who's a great spiritual farmer himself, he said the ultimate goal of farming is not the growing of crops, but the cultivation and perfection of human beings. And I think that's where we should be heading, whatever our spiritual practice is, whichever journey we choose to take to get there. This is our goal. It is to become better human beings. So that's the small presentation Yes. So I just wanted to say that we accidentally fell into this, and I'm so happy that this accident happened for us, because this has become our spiritual journey. And I think there's so much to do, and every day brings us joy. Yes, it's not easy, it's tough, it has its challenges, but that's what I think, that's where our strength comes from, the spirituality in it, and the fact that there is such a large purpose to this.